In this video, we're going to look at building a print broker estimate using the HexiHub outwork process. I'm in the estimates module here. We can see our recent estimates in the estimate list. I'm going to hover over the estimates tab and click add new. And I'm going to start typing the customer's name. You only have to type 2 or 3 letters. The name appears from the CRM section. I can just click on the company. All the company details and our key contact have loaded for us. We can have more than one contact though. There's no limit to how many contacts we can have. And everywhere where we have a plus button, we can make a choice. So I could choose a different address for the delivery potentially. Let's send this one to Melbourne. The type of item we're building is an outwork item, and I've got to put in an estimate title, calling it a marketing brochure. We've got some other fields here. I'm actually going to skip over those. They aren't particularly necessary at this stage, so we'll just leave them. We can quote up to 4 quantities at a time, so I'm going to put in for 500, 750, 1000 and 1500. You don't have to put in all 4 items, you can just put in 1. And then we're going to build a specification here. That's the specification for the item, and this is going to be sent to 1 or more suppliers for them to price against. And then we're also going to use that same specification in our customer's estimate. So the item's called a marketing brochure, and I can fill in these different fields and put in the descriptions to build the spec. These fields don't have to be given these names. These are our default names. These can be changed in the settings. And rather than typing everything, we can build phrases and save phrases into the phrase book. So I'm clicking the plus button to choose these phrases. So that's much faster than typing it all. If I type a custom one, if I do one here, if I want to use that again in the future, I can tick it and that'll save it into the phrase book for the future. So let's just quickly build this. This is going to be a digital booklet, A4, and let's pack it in boxes of 50. And we'll say just 1 delivery address. So that's our spec. Here on the right, we can choose whether we want to use simple costing, which is where we want our suppliers to give us a price for the lump sum amount. So for example, a price of 500 or 750. Or we can use unit-based costing. Unit-based is used more often in sort of promotional products and apparel, where you're getting a price per item. We can also put in a required return by date for the quote request from the suppliers. And even we can go down to a time as well, and we can give them an indication of when the job's likely to go ahead based on our current knowledge. I'm going to send this to a couple of printers. I'm going to send it to Big Print, and I'm going to send it to number 1 print supplier. There we go. I could select a 3rd, I could add a 4th. I'm going to click print email. The system's going to build a PDF quote request for each of the suppliers. So this one is for Big Print. We've got our logo on here, we've got the quantities, the specification. If I'm happy with that, I can email it off to the suppliers. We've got 2 separate emails. Here's the one for number 1 print, and below it is the email for Big Print. So the suppliers can't tell if they're the only supplier or if they're one of many suppliers. All they can see is the email that they get. And the email is a templated email that we've built. So we've got all the necessary information here, including a web link to the quote request that we've just built, and also a web link so that they can provide their price online if they want to do so. I'm sending those to the suppliers now. We've now come to the estimate summary screen, and when we get all the prices back, we're going to have 4 columns here, a column for each of the quantities. On the right, we've got our description text that we just built for the quote request. This is now going to be used in the estimate process. And the system has automatically changed the status of this estimate to be sent to supplier. You can see we've got various different statuses here. We can build these in the settings. But when the email is sent, we've got it configured with an automated workflow so it changes the status for us. So let's imagine that one of these suppliers has emailed us their price. Let's say it's Big Print. And they've given us a quote number, and they've said that to do 500, will be $650. And for $750 it's going to be $800, and for $1,000 it's going to be $950, and for $1,500 it's going to be $1,100. Now they can also commit to a delivery date if they want to do so, and they can also commit to whether their price includes delivery, and if it doesn't, they can provide a cost to do the delivery. It's from the supplier, and we can see their prices here. Let's say we've now got the price from number one print supplier. Incidentally, if they had actually used the web link and they had put their prices in online, we wouldn't have to type them in here. This screen would be populated for us. So let's say these guys are a little bit cheaper at the lower end of the quantities, but then they start becoming more expensive as the quantities become larger. So over here on the right, I'm going to choose which supplier's prices I want to use. And I want to use this supplier where they're cheaper. I'm going to use the other supplier where they're cheaper. And I'm going to click Save and Close. So we're back on the summary screen, and we can see a column for each of the 4 quantities that we're pricing. And each quantity above it, we can see the supplier and their quote number. I'm happy with this. We've already added our markup onto it. We could also add markup here on this screen if we wanted to. 2 different ways of working. But we've got our markup on it, and we can see what our gross profit is going to be for each of the 4 quantities, depending on which one the customer selects. I'm going to come to my estimate options and select print email, and I'm going to send this off to the customer. We'll use the term estimate, but the system can also work with the word quote as well. So again, this is a templated letter. We've got our logo, we've got the customer's details, we've got the specification and the 4 prices. And we've chosen to show these prices excluding tax, then the tax amount, and then including tax. But it doesn't have to be set up that way. We can also show a unit price here as well if we wish. And again, I can email that using a templated email. In this case though, I've set them up differently. I've got to choose which template I want to use. Well, this is the first time we've emailed this, so I'm going to use the first email. But the idea here is I've got follow-up emails ready built. Once I've chosen that template, the email's populated. I don't have to fill anything in, so I'm saving time, and I can just send that to the customer. And again, we've got an automated workflow that's changed the status. The status is now showing us first email sent. So this is estimate 21. Let's go to our estimate list and see how it looks in our list of estimates. Here it is at the top, estimate 21, the marketing brochure for Alice at the Enterprise Software Company. I'm Matthew. This is the date. That's the value from the smallest quantity. Haven't written any comments. At the moment, no days have gone by since we emailed Alice, but tomorrow that will be showing as 1, and so it will progress. And we can set a number at which it becomes red. So these 2 are red, showing me that a lot of time's gone by and we need to take action. And the status for this at the moment is that the first email's been sent. So for example, I might say when this gets to 3 days or 2 days, go red, and that will alert me to send the second email. So that's the process to build a print broker estimate. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to get in touch, please email to support@hexicomsoftware.com.